Colorado State Patrol says more and more illegal fentanyl is coming into the state now. Colonel Matthew Packard says troopers have seized 11 pounds of fentanyl in 2019, but by this June, 225 pounds. That's a big part of why the city is hosting a two-day summit dedicated to training law enforcement in tackling situations with fentanyl.
Yeah, that summit starts this morning. 9 News reporter Darius Johnson joins us in studio now. And Darius, this is just another layer when it comes to cracking down on these poisonings.
Yeah, Corey, and that's what these families are calling it, especially when their loved one don't know what they were taking. They call it a poisoning. And now that this bill is signed and waiting to take effect, it's time to educate those who will be enforcing this law both on the streets and in the courtroom. Experts, prosecutors, and law enforcement agencies from across the state are all expected to be at this two-day session. And the hope is to be able to share best practices on how law enforcement can deploy techniques and new tools to disrupt fentanyl trafficking, prevent social media marketing of fentanyl distribution, and prosecute high-level dealers and traffickers. I spoke to a local DA who is a part of this, who is hoping that this will strengthen partnerships, but also give victims' families some hope.
I think it's important for families who've lost people to fentanyl that they understand that we in the law enforcement community, the district attorney community, we hear their pain, we understand what they've been going through, and this summit is an opportunity for us to hear from them as well.
Now, once again, this fentanyl bill will take effect on July 1st. So if you really think about it, this is the perfect training to have ahead of that, all of this taking place within a matter of 30 days. Later this morning, I will be headed over to the Denver Arts Museum, where those who are spearheading the summit will be there and available to speak with us. I'll have that story on 9 News coming up at 4 and 5 this afternoon.
All right, Darius, thank you for that. The district attorney who brought murder charges against Barry Morphew and later asked for those charges to be dropped has had her law license suspended. The Attorney Regulation Council says that Linda Stanley's license is suspended for failing to continue legal education requirements. The suspension is not related, they say, to the Morphew case. Well, this morning, a mom in Fort Collins is grateful that her infant son is alive after medical emergency. That's stressful enough, right? But now she has a huge cost to pay.
This is an incredible story. The boy needed an air ambulance ride to keep him breathing. Now the mom has a bill for more than $35,000, and that's after insurance. 9 News reporter Kelly Rinke talked to her.
Go ahead, you got it.
Sebastian Coy is a happy and healthy 2-year-old. His mom, Andrea, cherishes moments like this at home. After her son got really sick last year.
You're so high.
His oxygen levels were really low. And what we later found out through testing is that he had a couple different viruses, bronchiolitis and bacterial pneumonia.
Sebastian spent a couple of nights at the Poudre Valley Hospital in Fort Collins until doctors said he was getting worse and needed to go to Children's Hospital in Aurora.
Told us, he's not getting better. We can't provide the level of care that he needs here anymore. We're requesting his transport to Children's Hospital via air ambulance, and they were already on their way. They were about 5 minutes out at that point.
Andrea felt she had no choice. Take the helicopter ride or her son won't get better.
Do you want your son to continue breathing? That's not a choice.
Reach Area Medical Services charged a little under $65,000 for the 60-mile flight. Her insurance company covered $28,000, leaving her a balance of more than $36,000.
This is one of the most egregious examples here of the system simply not working.
Lauren Adler studies health policy at the University of Southern California. He believes it's significant for the company to get paid nearly $30,000 already for the flight.
Whereas Medicare would have paid about $7,000. And even if this was a air ambulance, another private sector air ambulance not owned by private equity, they probably would have gotten paid about $20,000.
A spokesperson for Reach Area Medical Services says they won't take legal recourse against the family for not paying. Andrea says that doesn't really make her feel any better when all she was focused on was bringing Sebastian home.
Why do they get to take advantage of people in their darkest moment and their biggest moment of need?
Incredible. Now, a federal law took effect this year that creates new protections against surprise medical bills. That includes bills from air ambulance companies. Andrea and her family aren't covered under these protections because the flight happened last year.
Boy, that is tough.
Isn't that incredible?
It is.
New this morning, schools in Park County are getting a security system worth hundreds of thousands of dollars donated by a local Colorado company.
Matt Renews in the Mountain Newsroom this morning. He joins us. Matt, schools in Park County could soon have this security system. It's expensive, but it's donated, right?
You're right, Gary and Corey. Good morning. It's an impressive system that's being donated to the schools in Park County. It's a system that's designed to keep students a lot safer while also improving response times with police and medical teams by improving communication. At the Park County School District,
It's been a long year.
Superintendent Cindy Baer's school year is ending, but summer improvements are starting up.
It's time to take a look at what work needs to be done over the summer.
That includes a $300,000 state-of-the-art security system donated by Colorado company Convergent Technologies.
We're going to be adding to their coverage and enhancing their system.
Stephen Fisher says it's part of their Step Up program,
Secure, train, educate, and protect.
adding security to low-income school districts. And this June, we'll add it to these schools.
Schools who are either underserved, underfunded, or just lacked some of the experience that they needed to come alongside them, collaborate, and upgrade their security posture.
With a system that keeps an eye out for trouble and speeds up police response times in emergencies.
Instant communication between any room in a facility like this and the responding agency.
All with a system that when school starts back up,
State-of-the-art camera systems and emergency response communication devices.
Cindy says will make their schools as educational as they are safe.
We're not going to get a lot of learning accomplished if kids don't feel safe.
It's a big system. The big day to get it installed will be June 10th, next Friday. Around 70 volunteers will head to the schools. They're going to do about a month's worth of work in one day to get that system installed. This isn't the first time that Convergent has done this with their Step Up program. They've worked with 70 other schools around the country. And Corey, they've also done this at several other schools in Colorado already, in Erie, Bennett, and Clear Creek County. So a nice program for school districts that otherwise couldn't afford it.
Absolutely, and the timing of this upgrade is really huge. I mean, school safety is top of mind for so many people right now.
Everybody's talking about it. Schools are looking at what they can do to upgrade their security systems. This one's going to be in place in Park County, so they're very appreciative.
Yeah, it's a big deal. All right, Matt, thank you.